We are underneath the hood of our 1966 Chevelle, a real 138 code car, which means that this particular vehicle started life as a real super sport car with a big block in it. Now, this could or could not be the correct engine for this car. It's been decked. The numbers are no longer legible on the surface for us to determine if it is the actual 350 horse 396 that this car was born with. But what it does have is a completely fresh, from the oil pan to the air cleaner, engine in it. Someone's really spent a lot of time putting this car back together again to this degree. We'll assume it is a 350 horse 396 block, but they had to add the tall port heads instead of the oval port heads. This thing has to have rectangular heads on it. It does have a winter snowflake 375 horse intake manifold on it and a Holley vacuum carburetor with the correct fuel line that would go on a 1967 375 horse 396. So it appears, in all intensive purposes, is a 375 396. Does have a nice stiff cam in it. I don't think it's a solid lifter cam, it's a hydraulic, but I'm sure the specs are very, very similar. So we have a fresh motor that looks as though it's a 375 horse, which was not available in 66. Biggest hammer you could get was a 360 horse. Did have a Holley on it, but it was a cast iron intake manifold with the shorter port heads. At any rate, this is what we have in this particular car now, with a nice set of ceramic coated long tube, appear to be 1 3/4 ceramic coated headers, new water pump, a clutch fan on it, chrome timing chain cover. Everything is fresh on this motor from the oil pan to the air cleaner. Correct 350 horse designation on the front, 396. And by the way, the casting numbers show it to be a 396 engine also. Does have an updated aftermarket air conditioning compressor on it. This particular car does have air conditioning in it. It also has the heater hookup with it, still retained. Does have a 4-pass high-capacity radiator that would have come with this car as a big block in 66. Brand spanking new alternator. Power steering. Power brakes. You can see a brand new vacuum booster and master cylinder also, 2-stage master cylinder that's with this vehicle. The correct style inner fender panels, semi-flat black, the way they would have been from the factory. Brand new battery in this thing. New plug wires. The distributor appears to be a brand spanking new distributor also. The housing itself is nice and shiny, machined aluminum, has a new vacuum diaphragm on it. The car appears to be absolutely new in every sense of the word underneath the hood. I can't see a single thing that's out of place on this vehicle. Original style sound deadener underneath the hood, still intact the way it would have been in 1966. Core support's never been disrupted in any way. A new air conditioning condenser in front of the high flow radiator. Argent colored lock assembly in the front the way it should actually be, and also the hood assemblies, also the hinge assemblies for the hood. This car is as correct and nice under the hood as I've seen one for a long, long time. Very nice car. Let's see what it looks like around. Hi, you're in Daytona Beach, Florida at Hanksters. Today on our floor we have a special guest again, like we do every day, 1 or 2 of them. Trying to get these videos up as fast as we possibly can for you. We get the cars in, they get prepped. This particular car, I haven't even had a chance to drive it. I'm assuming it runs and goes down the road, but we'll find out shortly because we're going to do a drive video in it. But we try to get these vehicles up, presented to you as fast as possible so that you see what we have for inventory. It's almost impossible for us to keep up with it. Devin's working as fast as he can. I'm doing the same thing. It's difficult with people coming in and out of the building all the time, but we do have customers that we have to tend to also. We're going to go over this car, you and I together. This is the first time I've really gone over it. It's been cleaned, detailed, washed, scrubbed. It's what it is. It hasn't been wet sanded or buffed or attended to in any other fashion. So the defects that I see are the defects that you're going to see. We're going to pick them out together. So, 1966 Chevelle 138 code car, which means that it was a real 396 Super Sport to begin with in 1966. Great color combination. It is black, red interior. We have not done the research on the tag to see if this car is correct colors or not. We can do that, and then whenever we put it up on the site, we'll probably go ahead and state that at that point. At this point, we're just showing you the vehicle and the amenities that we have on the outside and the inside of the vehicle, undercarriage, everything. So the documentation, what we can prove to you, will be on the website at some point. Right now, we're just going over the car. Fender to the hood, about an 1/8 inch, the way it should be. Chrome piece on the nose here that would be correct for 66 is no patina whatsoever. It's really nice, high quality chrome. Our 66 only vents are really nice. There are no waves, no distortions whatsoever on the hood assembly itself. Gap the whole way around appears to be about an 1/8 of an inch the whole way up to the cowl area. Both front fenders, you can see the fitment is absolutely gorgeous on it. Piece of trim around the nose. It's anodized aluminum, and there are no marks, no stone dings or anything on this thing through the years. SS396 designation on the front of the vehicle that would have been there from the factory in 1966. Headlight bezels themselves, the anodized aluminum is nice and fresh and clean looking. Again, the bottom part of the grille, aluminum grille itself, nice black through the center, the way it should be for an SS car. Bezel on this side, which is a one piece for these two headlights, is just as sweet as could possibly be. Really nice. Front bumper fitment. Wow, look at that. There is absolutely no distortion, no deviation whatsoever on that. That thing could not be more precise a fit than what you see there now. Front bumper guards, which were an option in 1966 on the front of our SS Chevelle. Marker lights, amber, the way they should be. Really nice condition, nice shiny plastic on them yet. No dings or dents or marks in the front bumper from stones either hitting them or possibly somebody backing into them, even on the very nose. Bumperettes, absolutely nothing. Front end of this car is just as nice as you would ever find a 66 Chevelle. This one being a real SS car, correct hood, the paint is just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And we haven't even buffed this car yet, and this is how nice it is. Let's see what it looks like going down the side. Okay, driver's side of our 138 Chevelle. Again, 396 designation in the front, cross flag, Chevrolet, fender lip, no dinghies. Paint on the side of the fender is absolutely gorgeous, just beautiful. Fitment to the door is very nice. Rocker panel, very nice on this car. Usually these are all chipped up and eaten away from stones coming up through the years. This one is not. Fender to cowl to windshield A-pillar, just as precision as you could ever hope to find. Correct wipers, arms, and blades on this vehicle too. Stainless around the windshield. As flawless as you could ever hope to be. It's absolutely flawless. There's nothing. Where the dash transitions onto the base of the windshield, usually you see a lot of clutter and a lot of distortion, a lot of fading and everything. This particular car had to have been a complete rotisserie restoration because there's absolutely nothing. It looks like the day it was manufactured by General Motors in 1966. Top of the dash, which is padded, the same deal. Tinted window in the front, really a great addition to the car, really looks good. Looks like tinted glass on the sides also. The wings are, so I'm sure these will be the same way. Bow tie mirror on this side. Rubber for the wing area, and look at the chrome on the wing. It's absolutely gorgeous. Usually there's a little bit of pitting on this. There's absolutely none on this one. Of course, the roof, I mean, this car just is as straight as you could ever. It looks like a wet coffee table. There's absolutely no, just a reflection of the ceiling and the lights. That's all I can see. Drip rail, nothing. Whiskers, fuzzies. It appear to be all brand new. There's absolutely nothing on them, absolutely nothing. Chrome on the door handle, the same way, just the way it was when it was released. On the door itself, really nice paint, really nice finish. Original equipment style door edge guards for this particular car. And look at the transition from the door to the quarter panel. It does not get any nicer or more precise than what you see there. That's the epitome of fitment on these vehicles. Okay, down the quarter. Sail panel. Yeah, there's a little, tiny little bit of, whenever they painted it, the gun must have a little bit of water or something out. You'll never see it. I have to really look at it from an angle. It's there. It will get wet sanded and buffed up. That will not be there when the car is shipped to you. Trim around the back window. Same as the front. Absolutely flawless. Hatch shelf, rack, whatever. Correct speaker grill in the back. The hatch shelf itself, just like the front of the dashboard, where it transitions to the rear light here at the base, there's absolutely no dirt, no fading, no misfitment, shrinkage, nothing, just like the day it was made. Okay, quarter panel, door edge, or wheel lip molding. Nothing. Trim along the bottom the same way as in the front there. It's just absolutely beautiful. Super Sport designation, where the quarter panel transitions onto our rear tail section piece, is really as nice as can be. This car is just as straight a vehicle as you will ever find down the side of it. We've been really lucking out getting some really straight, nice, undisrupted body work here lately. We're really lucking out. Forgot to mention the wheels. They are rally wheels, which everyone wants on their Chevelles and Camaros these days. It seems like that's what everybody's looking for. This particular set would have been like a 6-inch set. They're going to be an 8-inch set at least right now. They look like they're off of a Corvette or something with the 67 style centers on them. Really a nice looking wheel tire combination. BF Goodrich radial TAs on it. Nice looking car down the driver's side. Let's see if we can find something on the back. Okay, rear deck, 66 Chevelle SS. Same as the hood. Look at that. That you can see in your video. It's an 1/8 of an inch in its entire perimeter. There's no deviation whatsoever. This is as nice a vehicle fitment-wise as you'll ever find. Paint on it. There's no flaws, there's no dents, no deviations, no waves. I don't see a single thing other than that one little kind of spit over there that's going to get rubbed out. I don't see anything so far in this car other than that the paint is just exemplary on it. Chevelle designation in the back, SS 396, flat black, semi-flat black through here, just the way it should be. Absolutely brand spanking new tail lights and bezels around them. Driver's side and the passenger side, same way. There's absolutely no flaws whatsoever. All the trim on the back of this car is the way it was on the front of the car, just as nice as you'd ever want to hope for it to be. If it gets any better than that, you have to give me a call and let me know, because I've never seen any fitment better than the front or the back of this. We have a lot of them that are that way, and this one just is perfect. There's no way that you could adjust anything to make it any more precise than it is right now. Bumperettes in the back to match the two in the front, which are also an option. You can get front separately from the back. This particular vehicle has them front and back. So really a great option car. Rear seat speaker. Beautiful, beautiful paint job. Let's see what's on the passenger side. Okay, passenger side, starting at the rear of our 138 code 1966 Chevelle, a real super sport car. Again, the paint on the back, fitment of the quarter panel to the rear tail section is absolutely beautiful. The trim, I forgot to mention, this is all tin too. It's not something that somebody has bondoed or filled in any way. This is all the original tin, the same as the other side. Antenna on the back, right rear, the way it's supposed to be. That's the way they put those guys. This side here is beautiful. It doesn't have any spit from the gun. Again, the top is just gorgeous. Trim around the back window, same as the other side. Absolutely nada. Drip rail molding, same as the other side. No marks, no dingies, no nada, nothing. Whiskey, the whiskers, wipes, just the way they were on the other side. Really, really, really nice. Quarter panel on this side just mimics the other side. Down to the stainless, yeah, a little chunk. I don't know what that is there. Something grabbing my. I have to knock that off. I'm going to cut my finger on it. Must have been something, just put a little nick in the aluminum. Whatever it is, it's sharp. Door handle, again the door edge guard. The fitment is absolutely phenomenal on this car. I can't believe how good it fits. It's fantastic. Trim around the wing. Bow tie mirror on the right side. I love them. Trim around this window the same way. Absolutely no marks. Tell you what, I'm wasting my time going around this thing. There's just, other than that one little spit, that I haven't. There's nothing. Paint on the door, fitment to the front fender. Look at this. This car's amazing. Nothing. Nothing. Back where we started on the other side. 396. Event flags. Fitment of the cowl to the hood, the fender, to the door. Looks like somebody took a knife and just cut this out of a piece of clay and put it all back together again. It's just absolutely fantastic. I don't see anything at all other than that one little tiny spit. We'll do an interior section here in a minute, but really like these wheels. They really add a lot of pop to this car. Everybody likes rally wheels, and these being a lot wider with the bigger trim rings really adds some pizzazz to this car. The molding along the bottom, there's no deterioration or anything on it. Just a great looking car. It's a 66 138 code Chevelle. I believe it is the original motor that came in it. It has been decked. It is rebuilt from the oil pan to the air cleaner. Obviously, it has a different set of heads, a different intake, a different carburetor than it started life with, which in this case, it's a plus. We can't authenticate the engine as being a numbers correct, and we're not going to certainly restamp it to show it that way. So at this point, it is not a numbers correct engine. It is built to 375 specs, basically. Beautiful car, the fit, the finish, paint. The fitment is just unbelievable for a 66 Chevelle. You just don't see them put together this well. We're going to do an interior for you. But this vehicle is one that you should really, really take a look at when it goes up on your Hangster's website. Very few 66s and 67 Chevelles out there at this point in time, and this is an exemplary example of the very top of the line Chevelle that you could buy for 66, 67. Take a look at it. Nice car. Well, we're inside of our 66 Chevelle 138 code, 396 car. This car looks the same on the inside as it did out there. We're going to go over it, but it's going to be a waste of time because there's not one little thing I'm going to find out of place. But I'm going to show you everything that is in place. Hat rack in the back, like we stated on the outside, is absolutely brand new. It has the correct speaker grill in it. Back seats, front seats are absolutely brand new, nicely, thickly padded, all new padding, all new interior in this vehicle. Rear door panels, rear back panels are absolutely new. Headliner doesn't have a single mark, tight as a drum. Original equipment style, like brand new. Sun visors on it. Dashboard doesn't have any marks or imperfections in it in any way. All the trim, your window cranks, ashtrays in the back again. I can't believe everybody smoked back then, but they did, apparently. A lot of ashtrays in the back seats of these cars. The trim on the side of the side panels is just the way it was when it was new. Again, the 396 style. Door panels on the front, both of them appear to be absolutely new. console in this vehicle is the correct style, 1967 console. Wooden wheel in it. Carpeting is all brand new in it. Original equipment style. General Motors floor mats in this particular car too. The chrome, well, anodized trim around the headliner and windshield A-pillars is absolutely the way it was new. Even the inside part, whenever you close the doors against the seal, your wing area, that's all finely polished chrome, just the way it was from the factory. When you look at the dashboard on this car, it's flat black the way it should be across the top. It does have air conditioning, so we have our air conditioning vents on top here with the correct air conditioning controls on the center. It's an aftermarket Chevrolet radio in here, but the rest of the trim on this car on the inside is absolutely the way it should be from the factory. Correct vents for the air conditioning. This car's amazing. Full instrumentation, speedometer, fuel gauge, temp gauge, amp gauge, oil pressure gauge. Everything is gauged. What about this? When was the last time anybody saw one of these? A knee knocker tack, regular GM knee knocker tack that you could put in a early Chevelle. Absolutely fantastic. An original one, not a repo one. Clock in the console that still functions, it still works. Wood grain style wheel with the correct two supports from the centers with the hole drilled in them the way it would have been in '66. This car is so correct it's spooky. It is really, really nice. Even the chrome on the rear view mirror is finely detailed and polished. Check this out. We have a built 396 and a 375 configuration at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a 5-speed Tremec in this vehicle. 5 speeds. And it designates it on the console. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reversed. So you even have the designation correct, just like it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4 in reverse. This one shows it 5-speed. This car is absolutely new on the inside, as it was on the outside. We just did the presentation for you there. It's a red car inside, black car outside. I don't know how much better a combination you could get other than flip-flopping them. Fantastic vehicle. I don't see one single minute thing out of place in this vehicle. It's available in Hanksters, and honestly, this is a vehicle you really should take a look at. Very high quality, high-end 66 138 car. Take a look. Okay, see what we got here. We have a fuel gauge that is functioning. We have an amp gauge that's functioning. Temperature gauge that's coming up on us right now. We just started an oil pressure that is functioning. Right turn signal working. Left turn signal definitely working on this side. Knee knocker tack working the way it should. Let's see if we got wipers. We got wipers. That's a plus. Okay, what else we got? Horn. Horn's working. We have air conditioning. That's very important today. It's 120 outside right now. So it's definitely an important item to have in this car. Well, that's working, functioning as it should. So far, everything seems to be working as it should. Anything we haven't checked is the speedometer. We're going to do that real soon here. As soon as about 400 cars go by. Nice firm clutch in it. The power steering works real nice. Speedometer is working. Again, turn signal. Wow, this is a nice car. Holy crap, is this thing nice. Tight as a drum. Steers nice, runs nice. Look at this. Now let's try and see if the brakes work with no hands. Look at this. Oh, back down into second gear. We're about to stall. Car running nice and cool temperature-wise. Got a nice car here. Shut this air off. Oh, what a nice precision car. Yep, that's shut off. That was the Gestapo, and there is a death penalty for doubling the speed limit in the state of Florida. So we got to be a little careful. Look at this thing; it's totally amazing. How tight this car is. Look, we're going 65 miles an hour, and we're just as straight as an arrow. No deviation, nothing. Wow, what a great car. Look at this, even the trash tray's clean in it. Even the trash tray's nice. Alright, we're underneath our 66138 code Chevelle. Black with a red interior in it. You can't miss this thing. Really nice looking car. Brand new pitman arm, brand new idler arm. Everything's new in the engine, from the oil pan to the air cleaner. Everything's been addressed in this vehicle. New bushings for the sway bar, which is also an argent color the way it should be from the factory. Fresh set of springs in the front, new shocks in the front, new brake lines whole way across here in the front. Discs in the front, new backing plates, brand spanking new rotors. The calipers appear to be also new. New tie rod ends on this vehicle. New starter. 1.75" long tube headers going into a 3-inch collector that goes into a 2.5-inch pipe. Let's see what else we see. Tremec 5-speed transmission in it as opposed to a 4-speed. Someone apparently went to jack the car up at some point and wanted to put it on the engine cradle, but some of the jack touched the oil pan, and it did give it a little bit of a concave mark there. There's certainly nothing that would disrupt its functionality of any type, but it's there. I just want you to know I just saw it. I'm pointing out things that I see so that you can see them. Front skirts on the inner fender panels, just really nice as can be. Front frame structure, your box area is really solid, really nice. No dents, no marks, no deterioration. Original fuel lines, original brake lines, original parking brake assembly still functional. Floor pans are very nice on this car in the front. I don't see anything really disrupted through the years. It appears to be all original pretty much through the years. This floor pan in the front here, this one section, has been replaced. You can hardly notice it, but it is there. I want to point it out that I did find something that it has been replaced, done professionally. It's not some kind of just glued together type fix. It was done correctly. Very nice system. Substructure underneath the tranny is just absolutely as new as can be. H-pipe system connecting the 2.5-inch pipes gives you a little bit more pop to the horsepower on this thing. You can notice nothing whatsoever in the bell housing area. That does have its still retains its original dust shield. No leaks on the engine, transmission, bell housing area, or the back of the transmission. Everything is as dry as could possibly be. Substructures on the floors are really, really nice on this vehicle. Floor pans toward the back are as nice as you'd ever want to find. Again, 2.5-inch pipes going back to original equipment style under chassis mufflers, which you'll see in a second here. And they are, like the rest of this exhaust system, absolutely brand new. Size of the frame, there's a jack mark here. There's definitely a jack mark here. This guy apparently didn't pay much attention to where he put the jack whenever he lifted the car up. Another jack mark there and one there. So you have, again, these are very superficial indents that can be pulled down. I mean, if it's an issue, we can pull them down for you, but it's not hurting anything structurally. They were there for who knows how many years. It's not hurting anything at all. Integrity-wise, but there's one there, one there, one there, and one there. They exist. Superficial again, but they do exist. Let's see what's on the other half of this guy. Okay, again, our two brand spanking new under chassis original equipment type mufflers that would have come on this vehicle were the U-shaped, seat-shaped, U-shaped, whatever you want to call it, center section of the frame transitions onto the box frame in the back where your suspension is mounted, front and back. That section is as nice and clean as could be. There's absolutely no deterioration. The rear swing arms in the back are the 138 code type with the reinforced swing arms in the bottom. They're reinforced with 3 structural pieces that are welded in place to give it a lot more rigidity to it instead of just another U-shaped piece of tin. The rubber mounts on the front are absolutely brand new, both sides. It does have an F41 style sway bar in the rear to complement the heavy-duty sway bar in the front. Brand spanking new, still shiny U-joints front and back on this particular vehicle. 12-bolt heavy-duty rear end in it. It looks like newer set of springs in the rear of this vehicle also. The gas tank appears to be it may be replaced, but I can't really tell you for sure. The rest of this car is so nice underneath. It may be the original one. It may not be. A couple little tiny superficial marks. Other than that, absolutely nothing. The subframe structures in the back where it transitions to the rear of the car, and you have your structural piece in the back. That piece does have a couple little places where it's been pulled through the years. Probably somebody hooking onto it to pull it backwards, put it in a trailer, or who knows what. Correct style, 2 1/8 inch. Yeah, 2 1/8 inch tailpipes, the way it would be correct for 66, and they dump down behind the rear wheels the way it should be. All new fasteners, by the way, on everything that we've looked at so far has all had new fasteners on it. New shocks in the rear to complement the 2 in the front. I want to call this a new gas tank in the back too because it's too shiny to be the original one. Floor pans in the back for the trunk area and your drop downs from the pans down into the bottoms of the quarters are just as sweet as you'd ever want to find. Don't see any disruption whatsoever on them. They appear to be original. Here's your floor pans in the front of the trunk, and they're just as nice as would ever be expected. I can't see a single thing other than a couple very superficial marks from being jacked up through the years. That one little speck on the front driver's side floor pan in the very front that has been replaced. Who knows why, but it has been replaced. Other than that, this car is as new a car underneath as you could possibly find a 66 Chevelle. It's a great car. It's available here at Hankster, so make sure you take a look at it. It's a nice car.